Yeah.
Tyson. How are you?
How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I feel good. I feel amazing. Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you. I was thinking about it this morning. I think the last time that we saw each other was during Miami Art Week last year.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think you've been up to a few things since then. But for
Yeah.
for our viewers and our readers, um,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into this art thing, and that
Okay.
sort of thing. That would be great.
All right. I was born in Florida and I was raised in New Jersey. So most of my life I lived on the East Coast. Came to California in 2006. I started out as a master barber. So I used to be a barber for NFL networks and the Philadelphia Eagles football team.
Oh,
So that's what I used to do. Like before I became an artist full time, I actually was a master barber and worked at a barber shop. And I think it goes hand in hand because, I'm an artist, so I have an artist's eye. So when I'm cutting someone's hair or being a barber, I could see the vision of what it's going to look like once I'm done with the haircut. So I was pretty, really, really good at that. So it helped me to transition to California in 2006. So I think that was cool. I got here in California in 2006, and then I just started like picking up my art again and really taking it serious. And like on my days off, I would just constantly work on my art, constantly work on it, and just get better at it. And just because when you do something repeatedly, you get much better at it. So I just kept doing that and just kept going and started meeting people and people started putting my work in their consignment stores, and I started selling artwork for like $50 here, $100 there. And then I had the idea to do this documentary about street artists. And that documentary is what got me to this point because it wasn't my art that people really took to per se. It was the film about making art is what people discovered my art and really got my name out there, especially in the Palm Springs area. It really got my name out there. People's like, wait a minute, we like this guy, we like his film, and he's an artist. So it was like this combination of those two things that put eyes on my artwork per se, and just helped me elevate my career. And that first film, it was shown at the AM Docs Film Festival. That's a local documentary festival here in Palm Springs, outside of the Palm Springs International Film Festival. It's its own entity. And how I got a major contract with the city of Palm Springs is that the president of the Palm Springs Public Art Commission went and saw my film at that documentary festival and reached out to me. So the film just really opened up this massive world uh, to me in the arts, and it's just like it's been a roller coaster ride ever since. Like it just took off,
well,
and
I
I did
think
the
that
Street
what
Bench project.
I think that one of the things
Mhm.
that demonstrates is the importance of telling your story.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether you're talking about being an artist,
Hmm.
um, or you're talking about and the art you create, but
Yeah,
really anything.
yeah.
It could be
You're right.
crackers, or I don't know,
Yeah,
flavored water. But
yeah.
it's the story that
Hmm.
people engage with. And I
Yes.
think that in the art world, and I think you've heard me say it before, but I think
Hmm.
that it's the story of the artist, it's the relationship
Mm.
the person has with the artist.
Yes.
And sure, they like the art, but they
Hmm.
really take the art and put it in their home, in their office, their personal environment as a souvenir of that
Yes.
experience with the artist,
Yes.
of learning more about the artist and engaging
Yes.
with the art,
Yes.
the artist. And I think that that's really what you're talking about. And I think it's a great example. And I love
Yeah.
the film side of what you do. But before we get a
Mhm.
little more into that, because I want to, um,
Mhm.
what kind of art, I know the kind of art that you make, and I would
Mhm.
say that it is more outsider art, street art, urban art, however you
Mhm.
pop art, however you
Yeah.
want to identify it. But
Mhm.
what art inspires you? What do you most identify with?
Mm. You know, um, yeah, like my style of art is more so leaning towards like street art, pop art. But To be honest, I'm inspired by creativity. Like I just love creativity. I love people that's creative. I'm inspired by music, dance, ballet. I mean, anything dealing in that realm of art, even outside of visual art. So I'm just inspired by tons of things. Like, you know, I can't pinpoint like one thing. I can pinpoint a few artists that I'm inspired by, like Picasso, Roy Lichtenstein, people of that nature. But as far as inspiration, I'm inspired by all types of art, and I'm also inspired by people.
Mhm.
The people I meet, and like you said, their stories, and like a lot of the young people that I mentor, I'm inspired by them because I see how excited they are to meet me, and then that makes me excited. They don't even realize like I'm like a kid too. Like this is amazing, and being able to share my art and see the impact that it has on students, adults, and just everybody in general is like that's the biggest inspiration. If I had to pinpoint something that really inspired me, is just to see other people inspired by my work. It's really great.
A little bit
It's really
about
great.
that. I know you have a foundation, and I know you work
Hmm.
in schools, and I think that that's
Yeah.
so important. But tell us a little bit about that.
So it's called the Tyson Knight Scholarship Fund. And it's funny, I can't really take credit for thinking of this idea. It was given to me by a friend because what happened, I was getting all these like free art supplies from all these different organizations. And what I would do is just like I'll get this stuff and I'll just give it away to like the kids I'm working with or anybody that needed any art supplies. Homeless people, I would give, they were artists, I would give them these art supplies. And my friend was like, dude, you need to like start a foundation where you can and organize this and you can really help people. And I was like, that's actually a good idea. So I always say I can't take credit for coming up with it, but I wasn't the one actually doing it, just not in that, it's not structured. So my friend helped me structure it. And I said, I'm going to do the Tyson Knight Scholarship Fund and I'm going to help individuals, students, and just people that need that's underserved that need that boost or that confidence and the funds to pursue whatever they're pursuing, right? I started out with just doing arts, but then I opened it up to all students, just going to the next level of their education. And it's been amazing. Like I didn't start asking for donations. It's just it just organically, people, organizations got really rallied, got behind me, and was like, "We love what you're doing." And I'll never forget it. It was this group, this really nice group of women. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the organization right now, but they invited me over to her house, and they all were there. They were all there, and they wanted to hear my story and really have me talk about my scholarship fund. So I got up, and I was just fresh into it, like I'm really like I'm amped up. I'm ready to really, really tell this story. And I got up and told my story, and after I did that, they were like, "Okay, thank you. We'll get in touch with you tomorrow." I said, "Okay." The next day, the lady that organized the event called me and said, "Tyson, this is we donate to a lot of different funds, a lot of different scholarship funds, and just donate in general." She said, "You got the most people that wrote checks since we started this organization."
Wow.
I had I had about 50 checks.
Wow.
Now think about this. Now, I don't know why I didn't go inside the bank and deposit them, but I actually went to the ATM machine and deposited 50 checks. That's actually why I did that. I can't even remember why I did that. But I just told you that story to say how it's just became this really wonderful thing. And I was able to like give out 10 scholarships to two different high schools here in the Valley, in Coachella Valley. And the remaining funds, I partnered with the Jesse O. James Center, which is like a kind of like a Boys and Girls Club center here. And it was in the summertime, and they have like a camp for kids. So I collaborated with them, and I had all the students come to this museum, and I paid for everything, lunch, everything. They came to the museum and they get to tour this really cool museum. And then after that, they can find any place inside the museum, whatever artifacts they like, or whatever they like to see, they can just get on the floor and just start painting and drawing, painting and drawing. So it was just amazing, like to be able to do these things. So I mean, it's just it's kind of surreal because it's like wow, like I never would think that me just really getting into my art and taking it serious that all these different things can spawn from that. So it's just great. It's great.
And I
Yeah.
think that one of the one of the things that that illustrates is, arts are not, unfortunately, a part of many school programs, but they are
Hmm.
part of after-school programs,
Hmm.
organizations like Boys and Girls Clubs and
Hmm.
YMCA
Hmm.
and those kinds of organizations that have those after-school programs. And
Hmm.
the arts, whatever it is, visual arts, performance art,
Hmm.
writing, poetry, whatever
Hmm.
it
Yes.
might be,
Yes.
it's been proven over and over and over again to be such a great contributor to the
Yes.
overall uh, the overall excellence that a child
Hmm.
achieves in their life,
Hmm.
because they see that, and it enables them to do better with their academic subjects.
That's
um
right.
and it's a, not only is it creative, but it's an expressive form of displaying your talent,
Hmm.
as well as your thoughts
Yeah.
um, and your creativity and the world around you.
Yes.
I think that for children who may not have all of the words to express what they're seeing
Hmm.
and what they're thinking, the arts are a way to express that. So thank you
That's
for
right.
doing that. It's really important.
I thank you. I appreciate it. I feel honored and blessed to be in a position to be able to be able to give that energy out to people and students, that just sharing my gifts and talents. So I just think it's incredible. Like, that feels better than me selling a piece of art for thousands of dollars. It's incredible. It's incredible.
So I know that first film kind
Hmm.
of launched your art career and told your
Hmm.
story. But
Hmm.
now this second film,
Hmm.
it came out last year, right? In
Yeah.
2023.
No, actually, this film came out. It came out right after my first film. So my first film came out in 2018. This second film came out in 2019. All of a sudden, it's just got this surge of energy behind it, and it's taken off again. Like, it's getting like this second leg, and it's like going all over the world and winning awards. It's like I'm like, whoa, this is
Well, tell us
insane.
about it. What's the title? What's it all about?
So, this film is called Homeless Street Artists. I follow three homeless artists in the Coachella Valley. I think one in Palm Springs, two in Palm Springs, and one in Indio, California. And this film kind of organically came out of my first film. So to really tell us the story in context, I got to take you back to the first film. So the first film was a street art documentary, just basically solely on street artists. And I was filming that, and I was in between filming, and I saw this gentleman downtown, because in Palm Springs they have every Thursday they have a street fair. So they block off downtown, and they have the street fair every Thursday here. It's been traditions for years in Palm Springs. And I was just down there because I just wanted to take a little break. I had to film the next day, so I'm walking downtown, and I see this homeless guy sitting on the bench with a little bit of art, some little small little trinkets of artwork like set up on the bench he was trying to sell. Obviously he couldn't afford like a booth and stuff like that, like where the street fair was at. So he was on that bench there. And I walked by and I was like, I gotta go talk to him. So I turned around, I said, hey, you're an artist? He said, yeah, I'm an artist. I said, you selling your artwork? He's like, yeah. I said, let me see. I looked at it, I said, this is pretty cool. So I said, hey, then the idea came in my head. I said, hey, I'm filming a documentary about street artists, but I would like to feature you in my film. He was like, okay. And I said, well, let me get your phone number. He was like, oh, I don't have a cell phone. I said, okay. I said, here's my business card. I gave him my business card. I said, I'll be filming tomorrow on another side of town. If you want to be a part of the film, just give me a call. Went home. I didn't think too much of it because I thought, well, maybe he's outside in elements. Maybe he lose the card. So I'm filming at another location, and I get a phone call from a strange number I don't know, and it was him.
No kidding.
And he was like, yeah, he was like, Tyson. I was like, yeah. He said, hey man, can I still be in your film? I said, yeah. I said, where are you at? He said, I'm behind. It was a grocery store. It's over here. It's in an area called Smoke Tree. In Palm Springs, it's called Smoke Tree Village. He said, I'm over here in Smoke Tree Village and I'm at the recycle bin. Because like homeless people, they gather recycles to get money, right? I said, stay right there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. And we raced over there. I filmed him right at that location. Like, we didn't, it was just right there. We just filmed him right there. And it was a small segment, and we were able to add that into the film. And when I showed that first film, when I did every Q&A that I did with that film, everybody wanted to know who is the homeless artist in this film. Every Q&A I did with this film, everyone was like, okay, who is the homeless artist? I said, oh, his name is Scratch. He's a homeless artist. He's, he's in the Valley. People know him. They give him art supplies. They was like, really? And they were so fascinated by him. And that was the main question that I got. So I said, wait a minute. I said, I think I'm onto something here. I need to document him more and see if I can find other homeless artists and do a second documentary. So that's how the Homeless Street Artist documentary was born, out of my first film and people seeing it and asking about him. And just his small little segment, just to make it into that first film, is what got us to this point of where it's winning awards and going all over the world.
And how, I mean, did you you put it out there, obviously, but
yeah,
then, I saw on your website, I was looking a little bit, and I saw
yeah.
that, in 2023 and 2024, it won all of these awards. Was it, did you enter it into anything?
Okay, so how that happened, all of a sudden I started getting a lot of different emails from different film festivals. Like, hey, we're interested in your film. Would you like to submit to our film festival? Yeah. So I submitted to that one film festival, won that award, and then that just opened up the floodgates. It just started.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, is this real? Like, I was like, is this really happening right now? I couldn't believe this. It was just, congratulations, congratulations. I'm like, this is insane. Now, from 2019 into 2020, I mean, yeah, the film won a few awards, like it won a few awards up to that point. But from like 21 to 23, there was no motion. Like it was nothing. This film was just, it was just there. And then all of a sudden it just had this resurgence of energy, and it just took off like I just filmed it. It's incredible to even, it's incredible to even watch this unfold.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea like this would happen years later. So it's just, it's pretty incredible.
And so are you
Incredible.
seeing the same synergy now with this film? I watched it, it's really good. And by the way, is Scratch still around? He's still in the Valley, still doing his thing?
Yeah, Scratch is still around. I saw him a few times. So we partnered with this organization called Street Life Project, and they was helping him get off the streets and stuff like that. He can go over there and get meals and stuff. But he just, I think he just loves to be free and like, do his own thing. So he has somewhere to go. We already set everything up. So if he wants to go, he can. If he doesn't, it's up to him. But we have put things in position for him to have shelter and food. He's just an amazing, he's an incredible, amazing individual. He was, I mean, just so well spoken and just, always in good spirits. I got a quick story for you. So in 2019, when I showed that film at the AM Docs Film Festival, the Homeless Street Artist film, I actually went and got him. He went to the screening and Q&A with me. And I'm so glad that he came with me, because after the film went off, I was so overwhelmed with emotions that I couldn't even get myself together to do the Q&A. Like I was so choked up, I couldn't do it. And he just took over and just really engaged with the crowd, and he was asking them questions, and it was just beautiful. I'm like, wow, he saved me again. This guy's just an amazing individual. Like to be in that situation and be able to get up there and talk about this film, it was just fascinating to watch it. He's just an incredible, incredible human being.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that he's, I thought that his work, very interesting, really mixed media from found objects. That's the way to describe it. And very, very interesting. Some of the compositions were really terrific.
Yes.
Really, really a good artist. And I think you're right. Really a very interesting gentleman.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but okay, so here's my question. Has
Okay.
notoriety and the exposure of this film impacted your art career?
Yes, yes. And I think, well, more of just being from the human side of things, like not more so for the art. I think people love my art. I think the art of people, it connects with people, but it's just my essence and who I am as an individual. I think it's what people are really attracted to, and it's really it really changed me as an artist as well. It really gave me a lot of humility, and I feel great and honored to have to have all these things happen in my life. And every day I wake up, I understand that I've been given this gift, and it's very important to share with others and always be humble and treat everybody with respect and be kind. So it's just gave me this really human side that I can share with people. Like we was talking earlier, like people want to know about the artist. They want to feel a part of what you're doing and feel your energy and feel great. And that art piece means even more when it's hanging in their home, right? Because it's this really cool story to go along with that particular artwork and that particular artist. So I understand it. Like at first when I was getting into the business, I really didn't know like where my mission was and where I was going to go with it. But it's like I'm so blessed that I'm able to like have a purpose and be balanced and line up perfectly and know exactly where my art stands in the world and what I need to do with it. So it's a great film.
Okay, so here's the question then. But what's the plan? What have you got going on and what's going to go on in 2025?
So here's the plan. I opened up my new studio. I'm working with an organization here in the desert called Variety in the Desert. We're setting up art lessons and classes, and I'm going to start having art classes here in my studio for free for kids. And I have another film that I'm working on. My son, I don't know if you've never met my son, but he's a filmmaker. He's a young filmmaker, and he did a documentary on me and interviewed my mom, all of my family, and really went and found all these old photos and stuff, and really like got into my story of who I am as an individual. So we've been working on that documentary. So that's actually coming out in 2025,
Wow.
and that's called the Tysen. Yeah, and that's called the Tysen Night Experience, the art of manifestation and purpose.
Okay.
So and that follows me all the way. Yeah.
I like
So my
that.
son, yeah. So my son documented my whole life. I mean, who else did document my life but my son and my mother and father? So that's going to be really cool. I will share that with you too once that comes out. But that's what we have coming in 2025. Art classes, more traveling, and I just got back from Belize working with children. So just more traveling and just films and just working with the community. And I got a few mural projects going. So it's just like, it's 2025 looks great. I'm just going to say that 2025 looks great.
It's already great. It's already great.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Well, you
Yeah.
know, I think that you've always come from a place of caring and of appreciation and a core belief in abundance, that it will come to you. And I think that it obviously it has. So congratulations and
So
great catching up with you today. Thank you so
you
much.
too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.